Well, good morning, folks. Stephen Nesbitt here, 1995 Island Highway, Campbell River. Sunny day up there today, and trust everybody is fine. Everybody is rocking and rolling to the best of your ability. I mentioned yesterday I was going to talk about the commercial rent thing in Canada, and I'll get into that in a moment, but a couple of other things first. Or maybe let's do the rent thing first. Now this takes precedence. See, a poll in the US said they would rather have Trudeau as president than Trump. And I've got a deal for you folks down there. You can have Trudeau, we'll throw in our finance minister, and we'll throw in the treasury guy. You can have all three of these clowns. And if you want a weak-kneed, no decision type globalist type people, hey, take them. We won't mind at all. I see that. Here's the crazy thing. We have gone this in the last several months from plastic straws and climate change, and all of our politicians have been on board with that, to the Wuhan virus. They've all been involved with that. That's sort of petering out now. That's sort of petering out, although they still have white circles on green grass for intelligent adults to sit in. But now the next best thing that they're going to be on about, politicians as well, along with a whole bunch of mental, I shouldn't say mental, but I should say intelligent lightweights who just don't clearly think. About the systemic racism in Canada. They're having town halls, and all the mainstream media is on about it. Yesterday they had on CBC, you can sort of Google it, Power and Politics gal, had three people on to have a debate. You had one old white guy, two gals, two more young gals. The broadcaster was a young gal. One black, one white. And they're going to discuss the systemic racism. And of course, I'm not a Stockwell Day fan. You know, he's done some silly things, but he gave a very intelligent presentation about how Canada really is. And of course, all these three young women, mouths wide open, eyes rolling, they're going to tell him what it is. And in a sense, just their reaction and their attitude is racism in itself, if you really want to get to that. What's this old white guy telling us about it? He doesn't know nothing from nothing. So I listened to the three young ladies. Again, maybe they're very, very smart women, but intelligent lightweights. Go on and on and on. And of course, our Prime Minister sort of started that, and now I see the premiers are all onto that. And I would like to sit down with any one of them, or all of them at once, and discuss this. They need something now to take the issue off what they just didn't do. They just totally mishandled this pandemic. Totally mishandled it. They were late on several occasions. They listened to the stupid people from the World Health Organization, all sorts of misinformation. In Canada, on a population base, if you take it on a ratio, we're probably the same as the US with cases and pretty close to deaths. We're 1/10 the population of the US. They don't say that 70 to 80% of the deaths were in senior homes and the vulnerable. The people they should have been looking after, they brushed over that a long time ago. Our Prime Minister still comes out of his bedroom onto the steps and professes his concern for the elderly and the seniors. I think a month and a half ago, he announced he was sending seniors $300. I think I mentioned that way back, because he felt they need to get through the pandemic. Well, fellow, the pandemic's over, and I don't know one senior who's got his money yet, or her money yet. Just go figure. So now we're on to this racism thing. we'll get that later. Always getting interrupted. Now back to the rental thing. This is the brilliance of our finance minister, our minister of finance, our prime minister, and all the bureaucrats who put this shit together. The scenario with this rent deal is almost as if they came to you and said, look, we want to take your second bedroom. We have some people we have to put there. And you say, I don't have a second bedroom. I'm in an apartment. I've only got one bedroom. Well, you're going to have to sleep on the couch because we need your bedroom and we're taking your bedroom. Now, the way they've handled this is just totally, well, it's bureaucratic in government. They don't have a friggin' clue about many things. Let's say that you had worked a long time and saved your shekels and your money, and you were very conservative, didn't take holidays, worked every day of the week, and you had some money put away, and you said, well, there's a building for sale that I can buy, and I can buy it for $1 million. If I bought that, that could be a good retirement thing. Maybe the value of the property will increase when I get ready to retire, and I would have some funds there. And the building has 4 units in it, so I could use 1 unit for a business, and I could rent the other 3 out. So I think about that, and you think about that. Let's say it's you doing this. This is just a scenario. And you say, yeah, I think I will do that. I will take the risk. I will do that. And as you do that, you really aren't aware of all of the bureaucratic red tape you're going to have to go through. The thousands of dollars you're going to have to spend to satisfy that the building's in the proper place. The building had been there, let's say the building had been there for 30 years, but now they want surveys and all sorts of things to make sure the building is there. Well, don't you have records you ask City Hall? Well, no, it's just the way it is. So you spend thousands and thousands of dollars for a whole bunch of bureaucratic nonsense. And you get through that, you rent your building out, you start a business and one yourself. Now let's say you have to borrow the money, so it's $1 million building, and say it's $1 million, you've got $1 million mortgage. And your payment on that is going to be, say, at interest rates, I'm not sure what they are today, but let's say it's going to be around $6,300. Every month you owe $6,300. So say, I think I can handle that because I'm going to have a business in one and I'll pay rent on that one and I'll rent the other 3 out. And let's say we rent them at, just for easy figuring, $2,000 each. So you're making $8,000 on rent. You're paying 2 and you're out 3 out. Turn the 3 paying 2. So you pay your mortgage of $6,300 and change, and you're left with about $1,680. And that has to cover your taxes, all your fixed things, banking, accounting, licensing, permits, water, hydro, maintenance, all the other things that are involved with that. All of a sudden, the government comes up in around middle of May and say, look, we're going to make it, we feel sorry for commercial people, for business, small business people. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you a 75% rent decrease. You pay 25%, the government will pay 50%, and your landlord is going to pay 25%. And we'll make this retroactive to April. Now let's say everybody's already paid their April rent, they paid their May rent. The application comes out towards the end of May, and it's over 20 pages long. It's over 20 pages long, and the landlord has to do all this bookwork, and it's one for each. It's one for each tenant. So you do the figuring. You call your mortgage people, and they say, "No, you've got to pay your mortgage on time." And I've got somebody trying to come in, so I'm trying to tell them to wait for a minute, but you know how people are. So I'm going to make this short. You've got half your rent, you pay the other half, your other 3/4, I should say, and you're waiting, no idea when the government's going to pay up. Think about that. No idea. It's like the seniors, they're still waiting for the $300. This is the brilliance of our Prime Minister and his group. So for those people who say Trudeau would be better than Trump, you can have him, you can have the finance minister and our guy from Treasury. We really don't mind if you take it. Take care. Bye for now. I've got to go catch this guy who has no patience. Bye.